Gary Trent Sr., former NBA forward, and obviously the dad of Gary Trent Jr., who we have heard as of the last couple of days is maybe going to stick around Toronto a little longer. So how's it going this morning, Gary?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. Just took one of my sons to football practice, and now I'm on the way to the gym.
Oh, there you go. Busy dad this morning. We'll get right to Gary Trent Jr., who, of course, is someone that we're excited to see that has exercised his player option for the upcoming season. So why would Gary want to stick around Toronto and the excitement level that comes with that as a dad and the family and the relationship here in the city of Toronto?
Well, the first thing is he's always liked being in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's never disliked it. He's never, had any ill feelings there. So that's number one. Number two, new coach, new opportunities, with the new system. So it should create him some opportunities to where he can still thrive and continue to grow as a player.
So what's priority number one for Gary Trent Jr. right now? He's only 24. I think this fan base needs to be reminded of that because, he's been in the NBA for quite some time, but he's not yet a finished product. So when you're talking about your son's summer, what your son wants to accomplish next season, what are the priorities for him?
I think, right now he's living in Miami for the summer. He's doing his two-a-days. Get up at 4:30, get over to the gym, do your body strength and conditioning for an hour. That's from 6 to 7. Then from 7 to 8:30, you're on the court. So in those 90 minutes, we break each 30-minute segment down into something that he needs to work on. That way you can really focus and create some strides of improvement. So once he leaves there, go lay down, eat, lay down, and come back to the gym from 3 to 4. And then those other next two 30-minute segments, we continue to work on different things. So basically he's broken his workouts down into 5 30-minute segments of things that he want to improve on as far as floaters, things around the rim, improving in the pick and roll, just everything that a guard needs to be doing to take his game to the next level. So to me, I think he's just looking for great opportunity and being able to make sure that when the ball comes his way, does coach want me to run a pick and roll? Does coach need me to catch and shoot? So you just want to really prep on everything. There's no one phase of your game that we're working on or one piece of your game. In order to become a finished product, you have to work on all phases.
Well, it feels like a great opportunity for Gary. You mentioned the new coach, a new system, but also a team that might be descending slightly into a bit of a rebuild, which should thrust him into more minutes and give him an opportunity to really have an impact. And I guess it's really, it's doubly beneficial in that it's only a one-year commitment. So you can kind of see how things go here with both Darko and the direction of the team and maybe make your decision then. Is that appealing where it's not yet a finished product, that he doesn't have to be a quote-unquote role player and that he can really grow and become his best self over the next few seasons or at least this upcoming season here with the Toronto Raptors?
Well, that's what he's looking forward to. He's looking forward to the opportunity. A lot of his opportunity was taken away with the trade. One day you start, one day you don't. And, some nights you play 35 minutes, some nights you'll play 14 minutes. So you just got to make sure you find some balance in there and be able to stay emotionally and mentally consistent no matter what's going on around you.
We're speaking with Gary Trent Sr., former NBA forward and the dad of Gary Trent Jr. So when you look at this Raptors team last year, I think, I think it's fair to say it didn't reach their full potential at times. Where do you think that they could have had a little bit more attention to detail or improvement in terms of, maybe off-season goals as a team to make next year steps forward in the right direction?
I just think everybody needs to be a unified stance. When you have too many different contracts. Think about it. It's not even so much about the players. The team had 9-10 guys on the roster up for trades. Mm-hmm. There was only probably one guy, maybe Siakam, whose name wasn't in a trade. So, you got the whole locker room feeling unstable. You got the whole locker room feeling like we don't know what's next. Who do they care about? Who do they want here? It's not. It's when it's one individual, it's one thing, but when you have your whole franchise and every player that shows up to practice day in and day out, games day in and day out, questioning their role, questioning what we're going to do, questioning what's the direction of the team, questioning what we're going to do tonight, what style we're going to play, at least for what type of season you saw.
Was that a
You
challenge?
didn't have five or six guys in the locker room that were veterans, all that already has accepted what it's going to be, accepted their roles, accepted their opportunities. You got your whole roster is still in a hunger and a climb.
Yeah, and that hunger and the climb was individual, right? Like everyone's kind of sorting out where they stand, what their direction is.
You got 5 games of one-on-one going out there instead of 5 guys playing together. You got 5 guys on the floor, but are you 5 guys together? You got 5 games of one-on-one defensively at times. You got 5 games of one-on-one offensively at times. Guys feeling like they're being overlooked, or you can tell body language, or you can see when a guy is open and this guy drop his hands because he ain't had the ball. And okay, well, I haven't had the ball this many times, so I'm gonna come down, take 3 shots in a row, and it just, when you're trying to force a rhythm, it doesn't work because you got too many guys who are in question mark. Like I said, when you look at the trade deadline, when you come into the locker room and you look around and all 9 of y'all like, well, who ain't gonna be here? Who's not here? Or who don't? You can't question it. You want to feel confident. You want to have faith in what you're doing.
Are you confident that things are going to be different, given that Gary chose to re-up and come back for another year?
Well, considering a new coach and considering his work ethic, that's the only thing that we can guarantee is that you're going to work and you're going to go hard. Now, the outcome of that is not all up to you. Is coach going to call your number? Is guys going to change their mindset? Will a trade put you in this position? So the things that he cannot control, never, ever worry about that. The only thing you can control is how much you work, how much you improve, so that when you're put in the situations, you can make a coach have faith in you. This is going to be Darko's first year, so there's going to be some things that he see up close that he never knew about Gary, about Scotty, about Pascal. He's going to see it about everybody now. He probably saw him on the scouting report, seen him on film, but now that you're coaching them and you're watching them day in and day out, he can be like, hey, I didn't know he was capable of that, or I didn't know Scotty had that move, or I didn't know Pascal could do that. So there's things that he hasn't seen in person that he's going to make adjustments as a coach as he goes. And I think it's going to be a learning process for everybody, especially this is his first coaching job. And he's not, unless they make some real trade, he's not being dealt a real strong poker hand right now as far as a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And during the rebuild, the coach, the fans, and more importantly, the fans in the city have to be patient through that process to understand, every team's trying to get to this championship, and Toronto got a taste of that. So now that they understand what it takes to be champions and they understand the taste of being a champion, the fans have to be patient with the rebuild. That's what they're trying to get back to.
What gives you confidence in Darko?
I don't know him as a coach yet. I don't know him as a person. To me, the first thing comes from hearing about his name and his reputation and his experience in the league. That could be the first thing to give you confidence, because you're dealing with somebody that they didn't go grab somebody out of college. They grabbed somebody to understand an NBA player, an NBA player's lifestyle, the threshold, somebody that knows when to practice, when to lighten up, when the guys are tired. So those type of things, just on his reputation of being around the league, give you some sort of confidence. But the real confidence comes in, what did you do in the off season to prepare yourself? So when coach puts you in a situation, because, nobody knows exactly what their role is going to be. A coach can tell you, hey, we want this out of you this year. This is what we're looking from you. But, you got to live up to those expectations, and you got to be ready for that. And I think once a coach gives you an assignment of what they trying to get out of you, and they see that you can fulfill that, then they'll put more responsibility on your plate, because they say, okay, he can do this. Okay, he can do this as well. So I just think, once he gets in there and get to coaching and getting to see guys at practice and seeing cohesiveness, he'll make some adjustments, and I think they'll be able to improve.
We're speaking with Gary Trent Sr. So you were drafted 1995, not to date that, but 11th overall. And today is the NBA draft. So I wonder, when you look back and reflect on your own draft day, what memories come to mind? What are the kids going through today when they're waiting for their name to be called to start their NBA career?
Well, everybody's going through something different. Like, prime example, what's his name? Victor Wembanyama.
Yes, Wembanyama.
Okay. Wembanyama, right? So with that being said, he already know he's the number one pick. I'm sure he's already spoke to his agent. They already spoke to the Spurs. This is just going through the dance steps already on the floor. Like, so what he's going through is, I know I'm going to the Spurs. He's already had some conversations. So he's already got some groundwork laid. He might already have a house picked out because so much is already laid. He already got your money from the shoe deal. Like, his life is already in a different space already, even though the guy sitting next to him is getting drafted. Now, what the number 8 pick might be going through, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going to live. My agent telling me I could go from 4th to 12th. So, you know, he don't know what team. I haven't picked the place yet. You know, this team said they love me. And if I'm here at this number, when this team, if they still get the pick, they'll take me. So everybody's going through something different. The guy who's projected number 20th, he has no idea where he's going to be.
No, I think
he
there's
just
a lot of uncertainty, right?
Yeah, so that's why I said, you know, at the draft, everybody's going through something emotionally, but everybody's going through something different because some guys have it more laid out than others. Some guys know I'm going to be number 2 behind Victor, so I'm going to this team. So once you get out of that 4 and 5 on up, a lot of guys have different thoughts, you know. Some guys hoping they get in the end of the first round. Then you got guys who are sitting there in emotional financial situations, like, you know, they might have already been involved in some financial, or some guys enter the draft because of financial things at home, even though they may not be ready. So it's a big night for a lot of people because it's a life-changing event, and it's the beginning of your professional career once you take that step. So, you know, it's a lot of different emotions and thoughts going through all guys differently.